So I almost introduced most of the widgets. So a couple of widgets we will see it as it progress. Uh, so far we have seen button, checkboxes, radio button, edit text, text view, and now I'm going to introduce a spinner, and of course we have seen list view, and layout wise relative layout, linear layout we have seen. I would be introducing other layouts, maybe one few layouts, frame layout, table layout. It's pretty simple, and of course we will see them as we see the other examples such as the fragmentation or master detail flow. And since we are learning about adapter concept, so spinner is also accept adapter as an input type. Spinner and list view is majorly I do not see much difference, whereas list view is visible items which you can see it, whereas a spinner is going to hide and display the first item. As you click, the rest of the item is going to be displayed. That's a typical standard of your drop down. So I'll create a simple example because I want to finish within your lunch break, and afternoon we will see a small recap of what we have done. But this time I'm going to use a custom adapter for displaying the database content. We have used a cursor adapter so far. We can also use our own customized adapter if at all required. So one example I want to do that. Then I will introduce what is service. So that's what we are going to go today. Hopefully morning session has been utilized for your exercises. So is it completed or still going on? Okay, you can extend it because it is a very I don't see any limitation because I only introduce very basic queries for you. So as our exercise of progress, we may need a complex type queries. So like right now I query based on the item ID, which is the primary key. Sometime you want to use a different queries. Want to see this item name, you want to query it whether duplicates cannot be allowed, and if you want to see some name which is similar to this, or you want to have a something like statement, like also is a one of query statement. So you can introduce like, or you can check a different combination of fields, or you can introduce two more tables and you can mix both the tables and retrieve the data from it. So just an introduction, we have a lot of examples to be covered afterwards. So that's the reason our selection of hands-on project, which is going to make a difference here, because we have to select some sort of competitive app now. Right now we have just selected a very small and maybe a very restricted app which does not have much features to be extended. Maybe I can finally attach a navigation drawer, like the sidebar, something which comes where the menus being displayed. Other than that, I cannot extend much. So I'm going to shift to a different hands-on exercise as we progress. But let me complete what is spinner. I'll go ahead with the blank activity. And close the other projects. Even then, so far. When you countered this kind of project, so errors running and don't be compiled. Oh, sorry. I think I closed one of a dependent project after compile. I want you to use the same one, but unfortunately your Eclipse version doesn't allow. Maybe the one we downloaded, which was maybe a release candidate, which did not have some sort of bugs fix. Tomorrow I'll give a copy, up-to-date copy, batch reps. You guys take it and make sure it is installed. So that will fix the error. So you can simply go ahead and create a hello world project. Everything will be fine for you. So some sort of view, so it's called activity main something. Let me see what is activity main. Nothing is here. I would like to, okay, a linear layout. So far I want to display a spinner uh, with some text view also. Prefer to have a horizontal one. Come back. Need a spinner. I hope you did not forget layout weight and other stuff. We've been doing only list view for, I mean, from previous projects. So hopefully you still remember the relative layout, linear layout stuff, layout above, below. Any name you can give. So ID and weight. You can give one. Then need some string. Okay, I want a hardcode array. There are various ways to hardcode array. You can here also you can define array. So if you notice the choice, string array is also possible. You can define an array also in the strings file. I mean array of string. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to name product, all products. So I don't want to confuse. So I can define items. That I'll go with the same Apple stuff. Array can be defined in this way as well, as long if it is a constant type, you don't want to modify anything. It is only for viewing purpose. So whatever we do here is only for viewing purpose, but anything which required to be changed, don't use this way. We already have a database, so you can attach that from, I mean, if you want to display in Spinner also, but as of now, I do not see any requirement. Let me see the preview of my layout before concluding. Okay, I set it to a text and a spinner. A spinner doesn't look anything different here. we'll see as we start running it. I'll try to increase the size. Okay. Time to initialize it. So only the spinner I have here. I do not have anything else. I'll say drop down, so for our better understanding. I remember I gave products. Yes. You can use array adapter or any other adapter, but array adapter, cursor adapter, simple adapter, any adapters can be attached to this. But since I have a array, let me create the array adapter to start with. Create from resource will make sure your adapter is rendered from the strings file. Or you can use the same old way of array adapter equal new array adapter, give a string value, array value, whatever way. Since I have a data defined in strings file, I'm going to use this way in order to build my array adapter. This is the resource ID, your string file. What's the name I gave? All products. Don't remember what name I gave. Integer, both are integers. So let me see. It is not detecting. Oh, sorry, it is not string. It's an array. And UI, you can have your own UI which is created from layout, or we already use a similar tactics for our array adapter, that also you can use it. Otherwise, there are built-in UIs available. Let me see if any UI available for me for layout. Something simple. Two things I have: spinner, drop down item. Okay, let me choose this one. They want character sequence. Okay. So an adapter which takes a array as an input and the view which need to be binded. The same is equivalent to this one. I comment it. which we previously did. Of course, I cannot give a if you have any other layout, but I will use the same one here. Simple spinner, right. So this way we had used it in the previous example for list view. So the same way also you can make use of it, but I want to call it from a resource folder. That's why I've chosen this. Now my adapter is ready. Time to attach to a spinner. Setting the adapter. Let me say I'm not very clear about what kind of a layout it is, but let me see if it works. We'll keep it, otherwise we'll change. Disconnect my phone. It appears now. You notice a small looking like a drop down box. You see, it looks like a drop down. A small arrow is available for me. It also takes the adapter as your input. So if you want to display and drop down, you can make use of it. Of course, all adapters will work. Depends on the view you are binding. Of course, if you are binding your custom view, which contains more than one text view or any other multiple text view, make sure you use a simple adapter or simple cursor adapter. Or if you want to attach with only one view, naturally an array adapter is more than enough. So it can take any other adapters. So let me see what is the other template. Simple spinner drop down something is there. So let me see what is that as well. For some reason fit. Maybe slightly it has more spacing. That's the only difference I do notice. Other than that, I don't see much. Of course, you have a swipe. Yeah, of course, you can go through if the list is longer. So you can use both the template, or you can create your own template in order to display. So the previous template, if you want to use where we have two text views attached, that also it will work. So only difference is it is going to display the view as a drop down kind of thing. We call them as a spinner here. Uh, so the same adapter can be used in order to display the content. So in this example, I have used a array which is defined in a strings.xml file. I call it using create from resource because the resource contains the ID called all products, so which builds an array adapter from the XML file which is called strings.xml. And this is a template of your list items, and predefined templates such as simple spinner drop down item or otherwise simple spinner item, both anything you can use it, otherwise you can create your own list view, list item, which is some example before. We have couple of custom defined list items that also can be attached depending on the view. uh, if it is a single view to be binded, you can use a array adapter. If you have a multiple views, you can use a custom adapters, otherwise simple adapter, simple cursor adapter. If you have a database thing to be displayed, you can use a simple cursor adapter like last example what we've used. So this is a simple example of a drop down or spinner. So it will be very helpful, for example, for gender selection, male, female, be some sort of choices, anything else. If you want to have a form with this kind of choices, you can make use of that. So adapter, there's one more is left for adapter. We will see it. One of another UI element also accept adapter, but I want to get into a slightly advanced level UI. There I can use various images or anything background. So I'll come back to it little later also when I get into advanced UI section. Since it's pretty simple, you can try it after the lunch break. It's very simple. It doesn't involve much of a coding. So only the thing I have added here is that the resource is defined in the strings folder. Other than that, it is pretty straightforward. Nothing different. You can also try with the different adapters. Okay. You can try that after the lunch break. I'll also post the source code into a developer portal.